Hey everyone, this is Michaela, the director at the Cameron University Wesley Foundation. The Wesley Foundation is a Christian community that reaches students, grows disciples, and sends servants. And you're listening to the CU Wesley podcast. Last time we met, Pastor Joey Simpson came down to share a lesson on liberation theology. We looked at Howard Thurman's book, Jesus and the Disinherited. It is such a good book that it said that Martin Luther King Jr. used to carry a copy around in his pocket everywhere he went. We were so excited to have a guest that we did not record the lesson. But Joey's summary of the lesson was just to read the book and let it challenge your understanding of who has their backs against the wall and are they able to be in the church. So just go read Jesus and the Disinherited. Joey made us a fantastic worksheet to use as we read along, and you should be able to download that worksheet through whatever app you're using to listen to this podcast. Hopefully I did that right. If not, I can send you a copy. Just email me at the email listed in the description below. So even though we didn't get to record the lesson, this episode isn't a total waste because I managed to get a quote from one of the deans of the Young Adult Winter Retreat. So that winter retreat is coming up January 5th through the 7th, and there's a few changes from previous years, and they're a bit difficult to explain. So I thought I'd have one of the deans share what is different and why they changed it because it's all really cool stuff. So I got Pastor Allie Shahan to explain a little bit more about what's going on. So Allie is one of the deans of the Young Adult Winter Retreat, and she's also a Wesley director at Oklahoma City University Wesley Foundation. I got to see her at an event and cornered her for a little bit to explain the changes that are based on feedback from previous years and their growing attendance. So I'll let Allie take it away from here.
Hi, everyone. My name is Allie Shahan. I am one of the deans of Young Adult Camp Spark, the winter retreat coming up. We are so excited that some of you will be joining us. I just want to tell you a little bit about what that weekend will look like. So it is open to any young adult. I say in Oklahoma, but really just anywhere who want to come. Our group has been made up of mostly young adults who are involved in Oklahoma Wesley Foundations and campus ministries. And then we also now have a number of students who are coming, who've graduated from college and are still coming back. This year, we're looking at what it will look like to still have everyone be in one group, but kind of have two tracks. So we'll have our older group, so people who've graduated from college, and maybe even still be that age, but aren't a student. So if they, have a full-time job, or maybe they're married or they have kids, but so that they'll be doing some different type things. And then we'll have our students doing a couple of other things. We'll have worship every night. We have morning devo and morning communion, and that's almost always outside. And one year it snowed while we were doing it, and it was just the coolest thing in the world. We have a bonfire every night. One night we'll have a hayride out to a bonfire that's a little further away, and we do s'mores and hot chocolate with that. We have small groups, and then they used to be called breakfast clubs because it was just this 1 hour session that we did after breakfast. But for the last few years that we've done it, that's been the highest rated thing on our evaluations. And everyone says, we want more, we need more breakfast club. And that's more just kind of like a breakout session where we have kind of like topical things. So it will be like, how do you find a church community after you've graduated from college? How do you do that as an adult?
Yeah.
Right? It's things like that. Maybe like spiritual disciplines. How do I strengthen my prayer life? How do I read scripture when it's really boring sometimes, or if it doesn't make sense to me? Yes. So we usually bring in some guests who will lead these things, who are really, really knowledgeable in that area. But it's primarily discussion focused. So we really focus on building community, creating a safe space for everyone. And then we also have free time where we can hike and we play volleyball or board games, or like if you need a nap, you can just go take a nap if you want to do that.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. So we show up on Thursday, we get to know everyone a little bit, and then it's much more laid back than a youth camp because we do have a schedule and we ask that people keep it as best they can. But if they need a rest, if they need a pause, and if it's too many people to be around or something, we are always open to like, hey, go take some Sabbath time, go rest, do what you need to do, that sort of thing. But we're just so excited that you guys are coming. And if you guys have questions, make sure to ask Michaela. She can reach out to me, and happy to answer any questions you might have.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think the only questions that we really had was just about what discussions we were having. You kind of answered that. I would just ask a question about like, what is one reason that you've heard students really come to camp?
Yeah, so this kind of goes back to why we started it in the first place. So people graduate from high school where you have a strong foundation of Christian community, like in a youth group. And you get to go to camp in the summer, you get to go to a retreat in the winter, you have retreats throughout the year. And camps and retreats have historically been a place to reignite that Christ-like spark in your heart, right? And so this was designed to be that for young people, to let young people know that, hey, this church still loves you and cares about you and values your faith formation. So let's do that. And that's the feedback we've gotten from people that we have a number of people who are coming now who have come since they were like in 7th grade. They went all the way through, and now they're coming back as a young adult because it's such an authentic, it's not judgmental. Oh my gosh. It's really judgmental. Very non-judgmental.
Yeah.
It's just a place for people to experience the love of Christ and just get to be exactly who they are and not feel like they have to fit any expectations that the world has on them. So, yeah.
Awesome. I'm glad that you could say that, just because I think we've talked about that as a Wesley of like wanting to find that place, and we're making that place at the Wesley, but it's nice to hear that there's other places doing that as well, and we can reach out and connect with other college students and young adults.
Yeah. We're so excited. It sounds like there are going to be a lot more Wesley Foundations bringing people this year too, so
that's exciting.
We're so excited about that.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, great. Is there anything else that you'd like to say, or?
I don't think so. If y'all have any questions, just reach out.
Perfect.
Can't wait to meet you.
Well, thank you so much. If you haven't signed up for Winter Retreat, go do that right now. The registration link is in the description below. I know the CU Wesley will be carpooling to Winter Retreat, so if you need a ride, just let us know and we'll save you a seat. So that's all I have for the podcast today. Our pub theology group will start up again next year in the spring when classes start back. We are planning to meet in person on the first Thursday of each month, which would be February 2nd. On that day, we're lucky we're going to have a guest, Ashley Williams, who is a counselor at Camden University. We asked her to come and speak with us that week because during that time, our Tuesday night worship group is going to be going through the Song of Solomon. We'll be looking at relationships, romantic and family, and that's exactly what Ashley studies and loves to help people work through in counseling sessions. But this pub theology group will not be a group counseling session. It will be a lesson on relationships and some fun discussion. I'm really excited to hear what she's got planned for us. But until then, I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.